Good morning, Jags. Today on JAG TV, we will preview the dodgeball tournament that is taking place later this month.
We will also speak to some of the fashion students participating in this year's fashion show.
This is JAG TV. AP exams will continue through the end of this week.
Textbooks returns will also begin during all three lunches. May 28th will continue through June 6th.
The band will be holding a concert tomorrow at 7 p.m. in the auditorium, and the orchestra will hold their final concert on the 21st at 7 p.m.
Everybody is ready for summer. Before you take off, there are some things you need to take care of. Nick and Preston give us more information.
You're probably busy turning in late assignments, but you also need to remember a handful of other things before you can officially finish the year, starting with the library.
Well, every time you check out a book, there is a due date. It's in there. So like right now, if you check out a book, it's due on May 24th. It's 3 weeks from the day you take it. And we need those back to be able to tell kids, like, it's not here right now, but it should be back around May 24th, like for that purpose. And we do inventory. And so, I mean, the timely manner would be awesome.
And while the library might be a little forgiving about your overdue books, they still want them back.
Johnson Library does not have overdue fines or late fees, so the goal is just to get them back. So we want you to have them, but we do eventually need them back. It will matter when you go to graduate. If you still owe a book, then you need to either return the book or pay for the cost of the book before you can walk the stage.
It's also time to find your textbooks, search your closets, the back of your car, and under your bed to get your books back in or face paying for them.
So we'll start having turn-in dates for students beginning May 29th through the last day of school, and they can turn in textbooks either before school starting at 8:15 or during their lunch.
And fines for lost textbooks can be pretty steep.
So if a student doesn't turn in a checkbook or a textbook, there is a fine, and it depends on which textbook it is. So it can range from $50 to $200 depending on what the textbook is. And it's important that they turn in the textbook that was checked out to them. If they got it mixed up with a friend's textbook, we still need their original textbook to be able to clear them.
And if the fine isn't enough to motivate you to get your textbooks in, what about losing your parking privileges?
Well, an underclassman who has outstanding textbook fines can't get a parking permit. So it's important to take care of that if you want to park on campus.
While you can't check out a textbook over the summer, the library does let you check out a book over the summer for summer assignments.
So if you want to read any books over the summer from here, you can check up to 10 out for the summer. So you can come get those after May 24th, and then they would be due on the first day of school. We have several of the English summer reading list books that are on those lists for all grade levels, so you could get them in here instead of buying them. And then also Overdrive is available all summer too if you prefer ebooks or audiobooks on any device that has internet.
If you have any questions regarding textbooks, feel free to visit the office and see Ms. Pearson. For JAG TV, this has been Nicholas Casanueva. Every year, the fashion students put together a show featuring original pieces. Rebecca and Talius give us the details.
Students in the campus fashion design course will get to finally show off their designs at the annual fashion show on May 17th.
So what we are showing for the fashion show is a collection of Fashion 2 students' work that they've been doing all year. So they've had certain requirements that they've had to meet all year. So it's a collection that they've kind of established. So they came up with their own fashion line, and then they've been working to create that line, making sure it also meets requirements. It will also feature Fashion 1 students. And that's kind of if they want to put something in the show, then they are allowed to. And then we have special guests, which would be the third-year fashion students, which are practicum and fashion design students.
Ismael Belmonte has been studying fashion design since his sophomore year, allowing him to perfect his skills.
I'm excited to show gowns that some people have seen, some people haven't seen before. It's a good way to show how I've evolved.
Keeping his designs innovative is very important to Ismael, who sees fashion design as his main way to express himself.
I take my inspiration from my culture, Mexican, and I also take it from vintage things from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and I also like to take inspiration from the future. I think it's important to kind of mix everything and make your own style.
Remember, the fashion show is May 17th in the auditorium beginning at 7 p.m. Tickets are $5 at the door. From the 3rd floor on campus, this is Rebecca Normando.
The fashion show will take place this Friday at 7.
If you are looking for something to do on the weekends, located by Top Golf, there's a new entertainment center. Colby has more.
Right next to Topgolf and around the corner from La Cantera, Andretti Indoor Karting and Games is one of San Antonio's newest indoor entertainment complexes.
So Andretti's, it's a lot of entertainment in one building. We have laser tag, which is 2 stories, gravity ropes, which has a zip line. It's the only one in San Antonio that has a zip line. We have miniature bowling. It's kind of like bowling, but it's downgrade size for more family environment. We have Hologate, which is one of the newest virtual reality things we have on the market. We have a 4D experience, which is called Dark Ride. It's really cool. Motion activated seats. It makes you feel like you're in it with 3D glasses. And then we also have 3 different tracks in the back. One for kids, 2 adult tracks. One is 2 stories and the other one's 3 stories. So we just have a lot in the building. And then we also have the 4 food trucks too.
And while the big draw is the racing track, there's also bowling and games under the same roof.
It's pretty big. Honestly, there's so many things to do here, and it sounds pretty fun. From what I see though, there's a bunch of so many different games that I never seen at main event, and Dave & Buster's, and I feel like I want to come back here just to see what else I can do.
For Andretti employees, their favorite activity has nothing to do with the games.
I just love taking care of the guests. Since I'm over events, I get to actually host, people's party. They spend a lot of money on these events, so I love having my employees take good care of them, and then they let me know everyone was nice in the building, and they're gonna come back and have future events with us.
Andretti also hosts events for businesses and parties.
We have a lot of corporate events, a lot of big, industries in San Antonio come out here, USAA, Rackspace, but then we also have the birthday parties. Like today I have 24, and it's a slower day. So we cater to families and businesses.
For business hours and more information, you can visit AndrettiKarting.com. From JAG TV, this has been Colby Edmonds.
2 weeks ago, the dance and cheer teams had their final performance of the year, Spring Show. Gabe and Caleb have the overview.
Dance and cheer squads have closed out the year with their annual Spring Show. The show is a testament to all the hard work both spirit groups have put in throughout the year. However, a show of this size does have its issues.
There are, especially when we practice, we have to share stage time. So when we work and we have to run routines, it gets tough sometimes. So only a lot of 30 minutes of each group to work, and you don't get a lot of practice time. So it's got to be one and done.
The show is also the last time most of the seniors will ever cheer or dance again, so specific routines allow for the special moment to be shared with family and friends in attendance.
We have dancers who do cool tricks and stuff, and then we have things like senior switch off, where the dancers and the cheerleaders switch jobs. And then we have daddy-daughter dance, which is nice too. It's like a farewell of the dads and the daughters together.
From the auditorium on campus, this has been Gabe DeLeon from JAG TV.
The annual dodgeball tournament is right around the corner. Julie has all you need to know to sign up.
Johnson's Model United Nations will be hosting a dodgeball tournament on May 24 to raise funds for the program.
Dodgeball tournament is a Model UN fundraiser for basically any expenses that come up during the year and more. So basically MUN does a lot of traveling and going to conferences and in-betweens that can help outreach to communities with volunteering.
Johnson faculty and staff are welcome to enter along with the students. Each team must consist of 5 members and pay their fee to participate.
Our dodgeball tournament will be held at Johnson High School's big gym May 24th, right after school, 4:20. 4:45 is the official start time. You can pick up registration forms in Mr. Green's room A349, and you can also turn them in with your fee.
Spots are limited, so get your spot now before May 21st, which is the last day to register your dodgeball team. The best part, all teams are encouraged to come in costume.
So there are only 32 spots left to join the dodgeball tournament, and make sure you sign up by May 21st with your team of 5. It's $5 per person, and there's going to be a prize for the best dressed team, and there's going to be a prize for the overall winning team, and you can also do a bracket for who you think will win and your predictions.
For more information or to register, visit Mr. Green's room at A349. For JAG TV, this is Talia Pimienta.
The choir is putting on their final concert of the year, and this one is one you can actually sing along to. Javi and Eduardo take a look.
Today is when the choirs cut loose and perform some of your favorite hits in the annual Pop Show.
Pop Show is the final concert for our choir, and it's the most fun concert with all the pop music. Every day we sing and dance in class and just practice and get ready for it.
Students got the chance to audition for the spotlight of the show.
For Pop Show this year, I am doing a spotlight with one of my good friends, Ethan Beatty. We're singing Have You Ever Seen the Rain, and we're doing an acoustic version with me playing the guitar.
Performers are hard at work making sure that their performance is the best that it could be.
Well, I've been knowing the song and practicing it for a few months now with my guitar teacher, but he has learned it through me for like a few weeks now, and we just get together sometimes during the week, and we have recordings of ourselves to practice alone too.
Pop Show is the 23rd and the 24th. You can find tickets in the cafeteria.
For JAG TV, I'm Javier Juarez.
It's the end of the year, and it's time for spring ball. Josh and Tanner take a look at what's expected on the field.
As the 2018-2019 school year nears the end, we spend the last month of the year getting back into action for next year's football season.
You know, we've been in off season since the end of last season, and this gives us a chance in the month of May to start putting the puzzle pieces together. We move some guys' positions, and really the only way in football to evaluate players is to put pads on and play. Some guys are pretty good with shorts and t-shirts on, but until you put pads on, you can't really figure out, especially in the offensive line and defensive line. So that's why I feel like it's real important to get us set up for next year.
During the spring, players use the time practicing and scrimmaging to make sure they are developing into better players on the field.
Well, obviously in the spring you don't have any scheduled games. The only thing we really do have is our spring game, which we create ourselves, which is the last Friday of school. We divide up into 2 teams and play a game. But the big difference, you know, besides not having games, is that spring is really just developmental. And from day one, you have 18 practices in 34 days. From practice 1 to 18, you're trying to get all that chemistry together, put the puzzle pieces together, and make sure when you get to the end of spring training that you're ready to go for August.
Even though there isn't as much competition during the spring as in the fall, the spring game gets the team pumped up for next year's season.
In the spring game, it's pretty tough, pretty high intensity. You know, we try to control them a little bit during practice in May, but the 3 Fridays leading up to the spring game, we actually have live scrimmages where they get after it and go 100%. And then obviously the night of the spring game, they get after it pretty good. So it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a prideful thing. We divide up into 2 even teams. The coaches divide up evenly, and they're all competitive or they wouldn't be out there. So the scoreboard means a lot to them at the spring game.
The spring game takes place May 31st at Comalander Stadium starting at 6:30 p.m. From JAG TV, this has been Josh Keating and Tanner Garvin.
Here's a quick update from Nick and Hey SA.
If you haven't been paying attention, here's what's going on in the Alamo City.
It took only 11 days for Avengers Endgame to break records, sitting at the fastest film to surpass $2 billion with $2.188 billion worldwide. Just announced, the WWE is coming to San Antonio. You can see stars like Kofi Kingston at the AT&T Center July 2nd. Tickets start at $45 online now. With neither candidate getting 50%, the mayoral race between Councilman Greg Brockhouse and Mayor Ron Nirenberg is going into a runoff. If you're registered to vote, you can make your voice heard June 8th.
That's all for this week. See you next time, Jags.
And finally, here's something fun from our crew.
Welcome to Are You Smarter Than a High Schooler? You have as much time as you need to answer the questions, but whoever rings the bell and answers the question first gets the point. The team with the highest points wins. Ready, set, go. What is the square root of 25?
5.
How do you say good morning in Spanish?
Buenos dias. I was giving you that.
Who was the first president of the United States?
George Washington.
How do you say hello in Spanish?
Hola.
Where did Romeo and Juliet meet?
I don't know that one. Just kidding. Oh wait. Oh yeah, the party.
When did Columbus sail the ocean blue?
1492.
What is the square root of 36?
6.
How do you say goodbye in Spanish?
Adios.
Who were the two main Axis powers in World War II?
Hitler and
Who wrote A Tale of Two Cities?
Charles Dickens. No, that's 2.
Germany and France.
Oh.
What is the formula for oxygen?
O2.
Germany and the British. U.S.
What is the formula for water?
H2O.
Germany and Japanese.
Yeah. Who wrote Romeo and Juliet?
Shakespeare.
Name an abiotic factor.
A rock.
Yeah. Okay.
I win.
That's all for this week, Jags. For JAG TV, this has been Nicholas Casanueva.
And Javier Juarez.
See you next time, Jags.